I'm Dylan Mujica with Start Over Magazine, and I'm here with the owner of the music store in Diamond Bar. Gene, your name is?
I'm Gene Iacono.
Iacono?
Yeah.
And so, how long have you had the music store up and running?
Well, I acquired a music store in Hacienda Heights in the middle 70s, and then opened a second location in Walnut, over there on the other side of the freeway by Coco's in 1979.
The previous location?
The previous location. For a while, we had two stores. Then the Hacienda store, we let it go because it was just too much, to do two stores. Kept the Walnut location, but we moved here from that previous location. We were there 31 years. We moved here in June of 2010. So we're coming up on our third year here.
Okay, and I understand you also used to be a music producer in the past too, as well.
Yes, very actively involved in the entertainment industry in general, with regard to tour managing prominent national acts and front of house audio for more acts than I can even possibly remember. And also, we had, at the old store, we had a studio there for 25 years where we cut demos and had workshops on how to be in bands called the Rock Workshop, and all kinds of really educational stuff for upcoming people in the biz. So I've kind of been doing that soup to nuts for almost 40 years. So it's my passion. It's what we do.
Mm-hmm. Now, what else do you guys do at the music store?
Well, primarily we do music instruction teaching. Okay, we teach just about every instrument. We also have accessories and new instruments, mostly by order, and rentals for the fifth graders who are starting out with band, that need a trumpet or a flute or a clarinet. And then also, we do repairs for those instruments, and we're basically in support of all things for music students as they're coming up. We have a faculty of instructors, and many of whom have been with us for more than 2 decades, who are dedicated, gifted professionals and really, really good at what they do. And we're very proud of them. And unlike all the other music stores that pop up like mushrooms on the lawn that say they give music lessons, when we moved into this facility, we built it as a teaching plant. Everything on the other side of that front door that you walk through from there back is all about teaching. And so the retail section is very small on purpose. So that's what we do.
It's great. And about the studio set, are you guys still in the process of building one here?
We're in the process of, we have a nice space here in the back where we will ultimately develop it into a recording and video studio with an upstairs control room just like Abbey Road. Mm-hmm. I've been in that studio in Abbey Road, by the way. It's amazing. They were kind enough to give me a tour of that. But also, it enables us to have a performance space for our recitals and things like that, where we will be able to shoot videos and put them up on YouTube for all of our students' families, for wherever they may be in the world, to be able to see their students' recital performance, soon after that happens. So it's going to be a multi-purpose facility. It's just that when we moved here, this space became available kind of unexpectedly, and so we weren't really ready to build it out entirely when we moved here. So we started from the front and working our way back, and so that's where we are right now. We're just waiting for funds and other things to come into play so we can finish the back space, because it's going to be spectacular when it's finished.
All right. Well, is there anything you would like people to know about the music store?
Well, we've been serving this community this immediate area since 1979. We have tens of thousands of alumni who are better people for having been involved with us and in their musical education. And we're here for the community and continue to be so. We're not just a new mushroom that popped up on the lawn in the last couple of years because, you know, oh, let's put up a music store. And it's like, that's not us.
So, you know, I mean, you're just saying you guys are something much more. You guys.
We're kind of substantial, and we're very kind of dedicated to the overall concept of educating young people in music and helping them develop those talents so that for their own betterment, because it's a huge thing. It's a huge thing for a young person.
Yeah, it's also a great thing.
It is.
I mean, I know myself being a student, and I've enjoyed it, you know, learning over the years from John and myself. And, well, is there anything else you would like to add?
That's pretty much it. But so we have some introductory offers and specials, which for new students, and we're always anxious to get the word out about that because, you know, music education. If it's good education, it's not cheap. It's expensive. You know, we're competing against the price of a gallon of gasoline. You know, for parents' dollars about how much money they have to spend in their own child's development. And the schools are, you know, doing what they can, but it's nothing like one-on-one personal instruction. That's what we do here. It's one-to-one, one teacher, one student. So the learning is very accelerated, is very you know, advanced, and can go as fast as a student wants to go. And so we are very anxious to get the word out about that because that's what we do.
That's great, and you know, I'm glad it's working for you guys. So, what inspired you to make the music store?
Well, I never actually intended to be in the music business, never. I had been teaching drums for about 10 years. I was a drum teacher, but I was also doing a lot of other music production in studios for other acts that I was developing and managing at the time. And then one day at my day job, this lady calls me up and says, well, my drum teacher just quit and somebody gave me your number and could you come and take some students, you know, because I don't know what I'm going to do if you don't do this. And I'm like, okay, I guess I can do that. So I went there, and that was in Hacienda Heights at the Hacienda Music Center. And I ended up with, I don't know, 8 or 9 drum students. And then, and I suggested to her that I was doing this as a favor, and so she should try and replace me as soon as possible because this wasn't in my grand scope of things because I was going in a different direction at the time. And so, bye Brian. And so the next, like within a week or two, the other drum teacher takes off and goes on tour. And so now suddenly I'm going from like hardly any students to like almost 30 drum students, and because I said, okay, I'll take those 2, but please replace me. Longer story short, within 2 years, I ended up buying the store from her. Yeah. And so I mean, really, it was never intended to happen that way. It just kind of evolved into that. And so that was the store in Hacienda Heights. Then we had that store there for a couple of years, and then opened the new store, our old location in Walnut over by Coco's. Had that one for 31 years. Built a studio there, which, you know, in that space, that studio was operating for about 25 years. That ended up launching a sound company, which, I mean, everything's just been kind of this complex evolution of craziness, and I'm just trying to stay on the back of the horse and keep the vision in place. So, you know, and so I'm in less control of it than I am just a rider on the back. So that's kind of how it happened.
Oh. And I also noticed you also did some stuff for Universal Studios, like the Waterworld and the Jurassic Park. You know,
I as a product of the studio at the old store, I got dragged kicking and screaming out. I was a recording engineer for a long time, and I got dragged out kicking and screaming by a radio station at the time named KMET, which was a kind of album-oriented rock station the arch rival of KLOS, who is still on the air on that format in LA. And to go do live sound for bands that I was producing demos for in that studio. And so, and I didn't really want to do it. And that's what launched the sound company that ended up to go on, this is now 1986, go on doing work for Universal Studios and Paramount Pictures and NBC Television and all these other things. But that was another unexpected consequence. I was just like kind of following my nose.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's how that happened.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? So, and can you also tell us where the music store could be located?
We are, by the way, completely improperly mapped by Google, who everybody thinks is the greatest company ever, but I think they can't get their map straightened out because I've been complaining for almost 3 years now, and they still haven't fixed it, and they're never going to, I don't think. But
They're your sponsor?
They're your sponsor? Okay, so you can edit that out. All I'm saying,
Okay.
just Google Maps us and you'll find out. They'll send you to the residential district 700 yards to the south of us. Yeah, so I would encourage anybody to use anything but Google Maps to find us. But we are, but direction-wise, we are on the corner of Pine Falls, all one word, as in pine tree, waterfalls, smooshed together, Pine Falls, and Lycoming, about 1 block directly to the west of Brea Canyon Road on the north side of the 60 freeway. And so, so depending on the maps you use, if it looks like you're looking at a map that is in a residential area, the map is wrong. That's not where we are. So certain people don't map us correctly, no matter how much we protest. So like that. We've been in this location since June of 2010. We kind of moved off of a main drag, out of the mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
People driving by all the time, and it's had an impact on our business because we're not getting all that drive-by traffic. So we're kind of depending now on word of mouth and people understanding where we are.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a website. The easiest way to find that is the address learnthenotes.com, all one word. There's information there about our teaching program and some of our teachers. We just moved to a different provider now, so we have some control of over that site, so we can build it out without spending a gazillion dollars every time we want to change one little thing. So that's good. So that's under redevelopment, as it were. And we have regular recitals, performances for our students. We have annual competitions where they can actually enroll in a competition to enter to win cash prizes and trophies and ribbons and all that kind of stuff. And then from time to time we have special clinics and things like that, which we have one coming up here. I believe it's on the 8th. It's on, March 9th. Mike Guerrero, who teaches guitar and bass for us. He's a very prominent player that toured the world with the band Hyrax, H-I-R-A-X, or H-Y-R-A-X. And his picture's been on the cover of Guitar Player magazine. He's a very serious player and a really, really genuinely nice guy. He's doing a clinic with us featuring the performances of some of his students that he has here on March 9th at 2 o'clock. It's free to the public, and we're serving refreshments and like that afterwards, and it'll be fun, and there'll be giveaways and raffles and fun stuff. So it's fun. So it fits into the overall mix of what we've always been doing this whole time.
That's great, and I think we may even check that out March 9th.
Now you can come and take pictures galore of that. I'll be shooting it. We'll be shooting videos of it. So if you want to incorporate any of that stuff or do that as a follow-on to this and just use this as a, you could take all this stuff, all my blabbing, and condense that down into like 4 paragraphs and use it as an intro, and then talk about this event, because the event's going to be pretty nice.
Yeah, I think we could cover that.
So like that. I mean, it's pretty much your call how you want to do that. But we're thankful for the attention and for Dylan for you bringing this to the attention of your publication and all that. Because we're working very hard to be a significant source of good stuff for this community, especially for young people. That's what we're all about. And so anything that helps us in that, furthering that goal is always welcome.
Well, it's the least I can do, Gene, and it was really great talking to you.
Thank you.
And
All right.
no problem. It was
Good
my pleasure.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
if there's any pickups or stuff you need that you know, outside of this, you know, I mean, I'm an open book. It's just, I don't want this to be about me. I want it to be about what we do.
Stop the.
Oh.
So